day everyone, I am Lojini and I'll be talking about the organization context. Maxis Communication or Maxis Berhad is a Malaysian telecommunication company. It is one of the country's oldest and largest telecommunication businesses. Maxis Berhad headquarters is in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Maxis Berhad has 9.6 million subscribers as in 2020. The overall income of Maxis Berhad was around 8.96 billion Malaysian ringgit. Maxis' value on consumer and its customer-first attitude make their customer their primary focus. Maxis Berhad offer consumers, major businesses and small and medium businesses a wide range of communication products, apps and value-added services, mobile, prepaid and postpaid services, fixed line services, network facilities, other integrated telecommunication, digital and related services such as fixed wireless internet broadband services are among the company's main goods or services. Next, we'll be taking a look at Digi. Digi Telecommunication Berhad, also known as Digi.com Berhad, is a Malaysian mobile service provider. Telenor Group, a worldwide telecommunication provider, owns the company. Digi was the first telecom in Malaysia to develop and operate a completely digital network on May 24, 1995. Digi maintained its promise to keep customers connected to what matters most during the difficult time. As the reality of global epidemic set in Malaysia, this plague took on new importance. Along with the sector, Digi assumed the vital role of guaranteeing that people could learn and work from anywhere, that they could quickly switch to online transaction for personal and business requirements. According to the 2020 financial report, there are over 10.441 million mobile subscriptions. Digi offers a wide range of mobile communication services. Voice, SMS, internet plan and services, international roaming, international calling cards, and WAP services are all available through their prepaid and postpaid plan.
Hi doctor, today I'm going to present on the Maxis Group's ratio. So the first part is liquidity ratio. For current ratio, 2019 was 0.5184 and 2020 was 0.6326.
Maxis Berhad's current ratio for year 2019 has 52 cents in current assets for every 1 ringgit in current liabilities, whereas for the year 2020, Maxis Berhad has 63 cents in current assets for every 1 ringgit in current liabilities.
For acid test ratio, 2019 was 0.3054 and for 2020 was 0.4057.
Maxis acid test ratio has 31 cents to cover each 1 ringgit of bills it has to pay, whereas for the year 2020, Maxis has to cover 41 cents. The acid test ratio for year 2019 is better comparing to 2020.
For days in receivables, 2019 was 111.84 days and for 2020 was 103.92 days. For account receivable turnover, 2019 was 3.26 times and 2020 was 3.51 times.
Account receivable days is the number of days that a customer invoice is outstanding before it is collected. Yet 2020's days in receivables are better than 2019's. The calculation indicates that the company requires only 104 days to collect a typical invoice. Similarly to account receivable days, account receivable turnover measures how well a company uses and manages the credit it extends to customers and how quickly that short-term debt is collected or is paid. Maxis account receivable turnover is better in 2020, which is 3.51 times comparing to year 2019, which is 3.26 times.
So the second part is operating profit margin ratios. So firstly, the operating return on asset 2019 was 0.1079, 2020 was 0.1026. For operating profit margin, 2019 was 0.2586 and 2020 was 0.2511. Total asset turnover 2019 was 0.4172 and 2020 was 0.4088. And lastly, fixed asset turnover 2019 was Ringgit Malaysia 0.4816 and 2020 was Ringgit Malaysia 0.4692.
The Maxis fixed asset turnover is lower than Digi. Maxis was only able to generate 0.47 cents for every 1 ringgit invested in fixed assets.
For financing ratio, firstly, debt ratio 2019 was 0.6864 and 2020 was 0.6786. Times of interest earned 2019 was 4.7308 and 2020 was 4.7092.
The debt ratio represents the ratio of a company's assets that are financed by debt. The debt ratio and times interest earned for Maxis has reduced from year 2020 to 2021. We can conclude that once again Digi's organization is doing better in financing its assets comparing to Maxis.
Lastly, return on equity ratio for Maxis in 2019 was 0.2160 and 2020 was 0.1960.
Maxis return on equity has decreased comparing year 2020 to 2019. At year 2019, Maxis has a return on equity of 2.17, while at year 2020, Maxis has 1.96. We can infer that both organizations has been increasing its profit generation without needing as much capital. It also indicates how well a company's management deploys shareholders.
Liquidity ratios are an important class of financial metrics used to determine a debtor's ability to pay off current debt obligations without raising external capital. Liquidity ratios measure a company's ability to pay debt obligations and its margin of safety through the calculation of metrics. The current ratio is the one that compares a company's current asset to its current liabilities. For the year 2019, Digi has 67 cents in current assets for every 1 ringgit in current liabilities. On the other hand, for the year 2020, Digi has only 61 cents in current asset for every 1 ringgit in current liabilities. The Digi's liquidity for 2019 is higher than 2020's, which has a current ratio of 0.67. However, year 2019's acid test ratio is more better than 2020's. The acid test ratio compares a company's quick assets to its current liability. This means Digi has an acid test ratio 0.61 to cover each 1 ringgit of bills it has to pay on year 2019 compared to 2020, which has only covered 51 cents. Year 2020's days in receivables are better than 2019's, which is the calculation indicates that the company requires 58.48 days only to collect a typical invoice. Similarly, account receivable turnover 6.24 for year 2020 is more better than 2019's 5.09, which indicate that the company's collection of account receivable is efficient and that the company has a high proportion of quality customers that pay their debt quickly. The profit margin is a ratio that compares a company's profit to its total revenue. It assesses how efficiently a company operates. 2019's operating return on asset is more effective than 2020's. It shows effectiveness of business operations and the profitability generated from asset use. Operating profit margin on 2019 is 0.3. It shown Digi had decreased sales on 2020. 2019's total asset turnover is higher ratio and favored because it implies that Digi is efficient in generating sales or revenue from its asset base. 2020's ratio is lower and indicates that Digi is not using its assets efficiently and may have internal problems. 2019's fixed asset turnover is higher than 2020's, which is shown more efficient Digi is at generating revenue from its assets. The debt ratio represents the ratio of a company's assets that are financed by debt. Since the interest on a debt must be paid regardless of Digi's profitability, too much debt may compromise the entire operations if cash flow dries up. 2020's debt ratio is considered better than 2019's, but reversely, 2019's year time interest earned are better than 2020's. This is because high times interest earned ratio indicates healthy profitability for companies. 2019's return on equity 2.17 is better than 2020's, which Digi has increasing its profit generating without needing as much capital. It also indicates how well a company's managed deploys shareholder.
What is non-financial factors? Non-financial factors are factors that will decide whether a company can meet the requirements of current and future legislation. The non-financial factors, for example, are reputation, human resources, patent, and physical facilities. let's have a look on how Maxis capitalized the non-financial factors. During the pandemic, more people explore digital channels, so Maxis equipped the customers with all-in-one app that can be used for various use such as account management, pay bills, preload, and also data usage and internet purchase. This initiative by Maxis helped the customers a lot as they do not leave their home during the pandemic. Besides that, Maxis also invested 256 million of their funds to enhance and provide the best network experience for their customers by delivering new service platform and IT capabilities that will suit the growing of internet in Malaysia. Other than that, Maxis also shaped a culture that called the Maxis Way. In 2020, they improved the Maxis Way to the Maxis Way 2.0, where they focused on 3 core values which were customer first, what's possible, and I am Maxis. Besides that, Maxis also kicked off a company-wide transformational leadership workshop with the first batch of ambassadors that were already fully certified and second batch of ambassadors in training. These ambassadors are important as they will become representatives to further embed the language of transformational leadership at various levels within Maxis. Next, Maxis also created a leaderboard for the most engaged employees to inspire participants as they know their workers were having a challenge due to COVID-19 where they need to work online. While working from home, Maxis is also aware that they need to prioritize their employees' health. So they launched Maxis Pillar of Support Initiative, or called Positive, to provide a holistic approach to safeguard the well-being of their employees. To ensure that their program will stay relevant, Maxis also introduced flexible employee benefits program, which their employees will get health benefits such as yearly health screening, fitness management, purchase of health and ergonomic items, and many more. Meanwhile, for Digi, they developed Yellow Heart responsible business commitments to equip youth in undeserved segments with digital skills to provide equal opportunities and build future talent channel. Under Yellow Heart also, Digi built youth resilience to cyber safety risks for a kinder and safer internet environment in the future. In addition, to help the societies, Digi has developed digital solutions for corporate, small and medium enterprise or SMEs and mass consumers by organizing annual My Digital SME workshop. Not only that, Digi has also launched My Digi 3.0 to enhance value to customers and drive retention. Digi had launched FTTH or Fiber to the Home solution where Digi now can provide customers with a bundled product proposition for a seamless in and out of home service experience. To make all of their plans and vision work, Digi had maintained constructive partnership with Digi Telecommunications, City Berhad Employee Union, and based on People Council. Digi always believe in creating a sustainable workforce along with their principle of freedom to inspire the next. Along the principle of freedom to inspire the next, Digi also always acknowledge their employees' health and safety. What is internal risk? Internal risk can be defined as risk that comes from inside of the organization. Internal risk, for example, are human factors, technological factors, physical factors, and also operational factors. For a company that provides telecommunication services such as Maxis and Digi, their financial performance will be affected if there are technological changes, especially advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence or AI and 5G has become the most talked in town as everybody are focusing on which company will offer them the better service. If both Maxis and Digi are not aware with those technological risks, their financial performance will be affected as consumers will change to a new service from another players. Besides that, Maxis and Digi also need to focus on the human resources. As we know, from the end of 2019, we are struggling with COVID-19, whereas changed our lifestyle. Some employees were affected badly by this pandemic. Hence, companies should pay a lot more attention to their workforce by providing healthcare and some modification in work style. If company can offer some benefits for their employees will become more motivated and work harder to help the organization in achieving the company's target. Last but not least, the most important internal risk that will affect financial performance of a company is operational factors. Operational factors involve their expenses ratios, financial planning, and also the management of the company. Both Maxis and Digi should have a good management in their organization, as management is the key role deciding whether the organization are going on the right track. A good financial planning will determine what type of costs that need to be prioritized first so that all the company's planning will go smoothly and financial performance will increase.
Hello, my name is Azlin Najwa. So for the last part of this presentation is projection and recommendations. Based on the annual report, actually both companies show a slight setbacks in 2020, probably due to uninvited presence of COVID-19 on the earth affecting the national economy. Both companies do not have any problem in being able to pay their debts on time because they did a good job in collecting debt from their receivables, especially Digi, which taken shorter time than Maxis. In terms of financing, both companies also have enough leverage items to cover their financial obligations, which can convince investors to invest in the company. Although it has only small differences in debt ratio between 2019 and 2020, but still it can make investors change their mind to make investment. For recommendations, we recommend Maxis to come up with new initiative to make their receivable take shorter time in settling their debts, such as give a discount for loyal users. Next, Maxis and Digi needs to forecast their sales better or improve its inventory pricing so that inventory will not be stored for long. Both companies should make sure their total assets and fixed assets turnover at a higher rate by improve their efficiency and inventory management. Also, it's a good idea to eliminate products with low profit margins as a preventative measure.